Good morning, Bhavin. Am I audible?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much, Shirisha. Hello, friends. Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my friends and master for joining this day 31 of My Time Infinity program through Zoom or YouTube channel. As we all of know that this program is co-organized by IFSS and PSSM Global. So deep gratitude and thanks a lot to both the organization for giving us an opportunity for our betterment. Thank you very much. Once again, warm welcome to all the friends and masters to another fantastic day, going to be full of new experiences with meditation and showers of profound knowledge and wisdom. Today, we have a wonderful master, Dr. Sai Krupa Sagar sir, would be guiding us on meditation. And it gives me personally immense pleasure to invite Sagar sir. I have personally attended couple of programs being run by Sagar sir and have one-on-one discussions and chat with him earlier. But still awaiting to join his still retreat program, which was earlier 3 days. Now it has 7 days. So I'm still awaiting for a call to go and join that program. Welcome, Sagar sir. Good morning.
Wonderful. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, dear masters. Good morning, IFSS and PSSM global team. Nice to be here.
Thank you very much, sir, for taking out time and going to bless us with your meditation guidance and the profound wisdom on the today's fantastic topic. So before I hand over to Sagar sir, just give a brief intro about Sagar sir, though it's long, cannot be completed soon, but in just a summary. So Sagar sir is an avid meditator, mind explorer, and technology business leader. He was the ex-vice president at CTS Cognizant Technology Solutions. Sagar sir has realized the profound benefits from a regular and consistent meditation for last 15 years. He is a trained coach and a public speaker and now shares his knowledge and experiences through teaching, speaking, and writing on meditations and spiritual science. He has been conducting classes on Anapanasati meditation foundation courses, Yoga Sutras since last few years in person in classes in London and Bangalore and through online classes globally. He drives various online and offline foundation courses on Anapanasati, which is the simplest form of the meditation, and he keeps conducting full moon meditation at Pyramid Valley, and the most important, his stillness retreat at Pyramid Valley course. He currently serves as a trustee of Pyramid Valley International Bangalore, and so on. So, without further ado, I will hand over to Sagar sir. But before that, a sincere request to all the participants and masters: drop all the expectations from the meditation. Come with the open mind and open heart to have the new experience because each and every breath is unique and new. And under the guidance of Sagar sir, we are going to have a fantastic experience today. And if possible, please turn on your camera. It will help the coach and the master to guide you better. Thank you very much, Sagar sir. I surrender myself to you for the guided meditation today with open mind and open heart. All over to you, sir.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you very much. Good evening and good morning to everyone from different parts of the world. It's been a pleasure to be doing this My Time program the second year. Last year, also, I think I remember did the Yoga Sutra session and one of the initial sessions, I believe. So in fact, when I was looking at the Yoga Sutra's content, that's what came up. It's at day 32. This time it's day 31. So glad to see a lot of familiar faces. And then Vikal sir nicely summarized. We all surrender ourselves to the one and only Guru or breath for the next 40 minutes, right? 40 minutes meditation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah. And like Vikal sir said, all we need to do is just relax ourselves, just be with our breath. All our thoughts, all our work, all our activities will easily wait for the next 1 hour, right? They can all wait, they'll be there. We don't need to spend time in this 40 minutes for any of those things. And just observing our breath. There's a lot of science, I'm sure a lot of sessions have touched upon it. So we'll just focus, just let it go, be content with whatever we are outside, and similarly be content with whatever experiences we have during the breath meditation session. All right. So with that, let's dive into meditation, my dear friends. And I hope someone will play the music. Yeah, it's Jenny, as always. What's up? Okay. Nice to see all of you, Jenny, Sarisha, Vikal sir, Santosh sir, at least I'm seeing on the screen. So, all right, dear friends, let's get into the posture. Remove your spectacles. Get into a posture, nice, comfortable, with your back, neck, and shoulders relaxed. Your back, neck, and head straight. Clasp your hands. Cross your feet at your ankle. Sukha Asanam. That is what Patanjali says. The only sutra that talks about asana in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And that is what Patriji says. Sukha Asanam. Still and comfortable posture that will allow us to sit for a long time. And slowly become aware of your entire body. Feel your body relax. Be aware and be conscious of your body. Slowly bring your attention to your nose and start observing your normal, natural breath. Just feel the breath as it goes in and out of your nostrils. The first few minutes, let us observe our breath at our nose. Just be the gatekeeper at the entrance to your nostrils. Just observe how your in-breath and out-breath move in and out of your nose. Feel the sensations on your upper lip. Feel the sensations inside your nostrils. 10 minutes, all your awareness is at your nose. Observe the breath. Just be with your breath at your nose. The goal is to pay attention to every breath. Any thoughts, any distractions, let them go and return your attention back to your nose and observe your breath. Wonderful, dear friends. Continue to observe your breath. Now slowly expand your awareness from your nose to your entire breath. Follow your breath as your breath travels through your nostrils, through the windpipe, in your throat region, and to the lungs. Observe and feel all the sensations and movements due to your every breath. Feel the movements in your stomach. Feel any sensations in your chest. Feel any sensations in your throat region. And feel the sensations in your nose. As you inhale and exhale as per your normal rhythm. Continue to pay attention to every breath. Be aware of all the sensations and movements due to your breathing. At your nose, in your throat region, in your chest region, and your abdomen. Do not engage in any thoughts, no judgment, no analysis. Just follow your beautiful whole breath, my dear friends. Wonderful, my dear friends. Continue to follow your beautiful breath. Do not engage in thoughts and other distractions. Pay attention to every breath after breath after breath. Just be aware of the entire path of your breathing. That is all, nothing else. Your nose, your throat region, your chest region, and your abdomen region. Just observe the movements and sensations as your breath happens every moment. Just be with your breath, my dear friends. Patriji says, breath is our guru. Being with our guru every moment unlocks all our potential with least effort. Wonderful, my dear friends. Stay anchored in your breath. Now expand your awareness to your entire body and feel the sensations and movements in any part of your body due to your breathing. As you breathe in and breathe out normally, just be open to sensations and movements in different parts of your body. Feel the energy currents flowing through your body. Last 15 minutes of being with our breath. So do not engage in any distractions. Be aware and conscious of your body. Keep your neck and head straight. Continue to feel your breath flowing through your body. All spiritual wisdom says, you are not the body, you are not the breath, you are not the mind, you are not the world. You are the observer observing all these. For the next 10 minutes, my dear friends, continue to observe your body breathing. Continue to observe your mind calming. Continue to feel the sensations happening in your body. Wonderful, my dear friends. Experience the joy of peace, of complete awareness of the present moment. Be totally aware of your breath, your body, and your mind. Last 5 minutes of today's breath mindfulness meditation session, my dear friends. Now, my dear friends, slowly bring your awareness to your heart region. Feel your heart. Feel the sensations in your heart region. Recall your experience the last 40 minutes. Say thank you to your meditation experience, however it may be, with an expression, with the feelings of gratitude. Let's express gratitude to all the people that made you participate in today's meditation session. Let's feel grateful for all the people in your daily life. Finally, let's thank all the people, situations, and intelligence that teaches us through many lessons and pleasures. With that feeling of relaxed body, calmer mind, and grateful heart, now, my dear friends, let's emerge from today's mindfulness meditation session. Slowly, unclasp your fingers, place your palms on your eyes for a few seconds, and you can open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Such a fantastic, deep meditation. Thank you very much. Deepest gratitude to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I hope all of you had a wonderful meditation. So,
Good to see the all smiling faces coming back from the meditation. So, today we are at day 31 of this program. 33 days program we started. My time infinity. My instant for M starts with meditation and Y for yoga. So the 33 days totally calculated based on the from meditation day to the yoga day. So just one day before, we are privileged and fortunate to have Sai Sagar sir with us to shower the knowledge and wisdom on the fantastic topic Patanjali Yoga Sutra with Dr. Sai Krupa sir. We will dive into the wisdom of ancient yoga philosophy, and Sai Sagar sir will explain us the key teaching of the Yoga Sutra and how they can enhance your spiritual practice and daily life. Discover the path of inner peace, focus, and self realization through these timeless principles. So, friends, as I repeat that, 2, 3 times, 31 days, it gives me, mixed feeling today. One end that, we are coming to the end of this unforgettable, fantastic journey of 33 days. And at the same time, I'm very happy and pleased and delighted that, we have completed 30 days and we are on 31 days, and definitely this journey will continue and we will continue to keep meditating. So with these words, I will not be in between you and the wisdom from Sai Sagar sir. So sir, over to you. Please
thank you,
enlighten
sir.
us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's really a privilege to be part of this program. I know this, my time was uh, formulated as the period between meditation day and yoga day. So that's a wonderful period of keeping ourselves peaceful with everyday meditation and wisdom. So as we get into the yoga day, right, it's very what is it, coincidental to understand Yoga Sutras. And let me quickly share the presentation. Let me share my screen. Yes, so I hope all of you are able to see my screen, right? Yes, okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Yeah, so it was kind of magical the way I was drawn to Yoga Sutras. I've been doing these Yoga Sutra sessions, brief and bigger workshops since late 2021. So suddenly, as we were doing a lot of these Zoom sessions during the COVID time, during the first lockdown, we were all in the house. I was trying to look at new books to read, and I go stand before my bookshelf, And suddenly there was this one book of B.K.S. Iyengar on Yoga Sutras standing out, right? Though that book has been on the bookshelf for a few years. I know I bought it some time ago, but I've never had time or bothered to get to read the Yoga Sutras book. That was kind of calling me out. So then I started reading the book, and then I continued. That's how I do. So once I get into a topic, I want to get to the core of it. So I probably read around 22 commentaries or 22 versions of Yoga Sutras by different masters. So just like Bhagavad Gita, even Yoga Sutras, it all depends on the person who's interpreting it, right? I mean, there are different commentaries. And then as you read one, there are questions. And as you read something, you continue to do that. But don't worry, we are not going to do all that, the entire set of Yoga Sutras. I'm going to focus on those parts which align with why and what of meditation. All right. So Patanjali was a sage. I mean, not much is known about him besides the fact that he's written Yoga Sutras and a couple of other texts, right? So I think I should have it here. So little bit of research into when did Yoga Sutras happen, because when did Yoga Sutras happen in relation to, let's say, Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Upanishads, and Buddhism? Because Yoga Sutras is a combination or a consolidation or collation of a lot of wisdom that existed before it. And one of the stories that emerged was around the time when Patanjali used to be there, early early stages after death, right? After the death of Jesus Christ. So at that time, there used to be a lot of traditions, lot of people, thousands of way of doing yoga, thousands way of spiritual practices, thousands of different types of meditations, right? And then people were following differently. And then Patanjali analyzed or looked at all of those and took the crux, took the common parts, took whatever is essential for us to attain that, get to that state of enlightenment, right? And then if you look at the Yoga Sutras, I myself was able to relate a lot of things common between Buddhists. There are certain sutras and certain words very common to what was there in Buddhism, some of the Buddhist texts and Patanjali Yoga Sutras, right? So it was, if you look at it, the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras came approximately around 650 AD, right? And then prior to that, there was Buddhism, Gita, Upanishads, and all that. And so it's a consolidation of all that wisdom, right? And then post that, we had Shankaracharya. In fact, much of what will be celebrated tomorrow as part of the Yoga Day is all the asanas. The asanas and postures were never part of Yoga Sutras. They were part of something called Hatha Yoga Pradipika, right? And then that also talks about Nada Yoga. So when we say Yoga Sutras and Ashtanga Yoga, it has nothing to do with bodily postures. And it was so fascinating, and I later understood why I was drawn to it. It is all about the mind. One of the biggest, mind manuals on how the mind works, how do you control mind, is Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And again, I just wanted to highlight, this is not Hatha Yoga. This is Raja Yoga. Patanjali and Patriji and a lot of masters say the path of wisdom and path of meditation is Raja Yoga. All right. And it pretty much consists of 4 chapters, very brief, 196 sutras. And just because it is so brief, everyone interpreted it a bit a different way, right? And there are 4 chapters. The Samadhi Pada is completely on meditation. The Sadhana Pada, meditation, the theory of the mind and what happens when you are still and all that. Then Sadhana Pada, it's like sadhana, the word sadhana, it talks about the practice. It talks about several practices, but it's not very specific to anything. It says, focus your attention on the object of meditation. The object of meditation can be anything. In our case, the object of meditation is breath, and breath is also one of the object of meditation that is recommended. And the last 2, the Vibhuti Pada and Kaivalya Pada, are more to do with advanced states, and that focuses on the powers of siddhis, like clairvoyance, like sensing different people's thoughts, reading other people's thoughts, remote remote sending energies, levitation, all those siddhis. The thing is, as you continue deep into your sadhana, get into advanced states of samadhi, you'll start realizing those powers, and each one of us can do. But it needs intense sadhana. The last one talks about the liberation. So I'll dive into the mind part of it. So this you've seen probably many times. At any point of time, our mind is filled with chatter, and the chatter, 90% comes from our subconscious mind, and 10% is what is we are thinking consciously. And equivalently, in Sankhya philosophy, our mind is in one of these 5 states at any point of time. So sometimes our mind is completely lethargic, overcome by tamas because of food, because of whatever lack of sleep, because of anxiety, whatever it is. So that is the state of mudha, represented by a dull mind, right? It's like a donkey mind, a dull mind. And that is one state of the mind. The other state of the mind, which we always call the monkey mind and keeps interrupting our meditation with a lot of thoughts, is the kshipta state. And then sometimes when we are working, we start beginning to do some work, and then suddenly someone says something or some other thought, maybe this is not it. Then you jump into something else. Then you jump into something else, right? That is kind of the distracted mind. This is also a mind that we undergo in meditation, during the state of meditation. So this is called vikshipta, the butterfly mind. It keeps jumping from one thing to another. We're confused during that state, right? And then there are the 2 states of mind, which are the recommended states of mind, which is ekagra, or nirodha, rested, completely still. And this is exactly what happens as we continue our daily practice of meditation. Initially, we do not want to wake up. We don't want to sit. That is the mudha. And then as we sit in meditation, it's restless. Then it's distracted, right? Then slowly, as we get into the deeper states, as we continue to observe our breath, our mind becomes single pointed on our breath. And there comes a stage when we get to the thoughtless state or empty mind, right? And the goal of yoga is to kind of reach that nirodha state always, all through it. That is what we call as mindfulness during our everyday life. So what is yoga? The second sutra talks about is yoga is the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha, right? And this is what is the definition. Yoga means combining the body, mind, and inner intelligence. And chitta is mind or consciousness. Vrittis, we will talk about that in a minute. Vrittis are the fluctuations or the waves of the mind, the modifications, the tendencies, the distractions. And nirodha is arresting, silencing, stilling, mastering our mind. We always keep talk about, right? Be a master of your mind, not a servant of your mind. Don't be driven by your emotions. Control your emotions or manage your emotions. So yoga is the mastery of the fluctuations of the mind. That is what it means. And that is what the entire Yoga Sutras talk about it. Why should we still our mind? Why should we be in that state of nirodha? That is because that is when we are seated in our own self. This is what is the 3rd sutra. Tada drasta swarupe vastanam. Means as a result of yoga, sustained focused attention, the seer, the observer, the consciousness that we are, the awareness that we are, is finally established. We are in our true self. In that state, we are connected to our true self, our intelligence, our purpose. Why are we here, right? Otherwise, we are in the worldly state. So the goal of yoga, the goal of all spiritual practices is to realize our true inner self or true inner intelligence, connect with our true intelligence, right? And as I said, the Yoga Sutras talk a lot about our mind. The Sankhya philosophy, Sankhya Yoga talks a lot about our mind, right? And we all know this, we have seen this. Patriji talks about Antahkarana Shuddhi. Meditation is nothing but Antahkarana Shuddhi. What are the Antahkarana? The 5 instruments or the 5 functions of our mind. Our manas, buddhi, chitta, and ahamkara. So you must have heard about the phrase mano, buddhi, chitta, ahamkara. So these are the 4 states of our mind, right? There is a sensory mind that takes in all the sensations, process it, gives it the pleasure, gives it the meaning of good, bad, sorry, gives it the meaning of pleasant and unpleasantness, right? And then the buddhi that actually takes in all the right knowledge and tells you this is right, this is wrong based on experiences. Ahamkara, the ego, is a sense of self, this personality that we have. And chitta, our consciousness, is the storehouse of our energy, storehouse of memory. And this is like, so please remember these four aspects. We will dive a little bit more into those, right? And what are the vrittis that Patanjali says? Chitta, vritti, nirodha, right? So the vrittis are the waves of the mind. Again, related to those 5 states we spoke about in the first slide, right? So at any point of time, the thoughts that we are having is one of these 5, he says. It's either correct knowledge or incorrect knowledge or imagination, memory, or sleep. So let me go from the bottom up, right? It's easier. Sleep, all of us know we are in a state of sleep, and that is a state when you get the dreams and all that, right? So that is a sleep. That is a wave of the mind. Sometimes you fall sleepy, right? So sleepiness is a state of mind. There are the waves. And then sometimes memory. You want to recall. As I'm speaking, as I'm talking about this slide, I need to remember what did I read, right? Each of you are remembering the words and then understanding the meaning. And there is a memory of things, people, situations, feelings, emotions, all that things, right? So it is there in our chitta. At any point of time, you recall a memory. For example, I'm a software engineer. I've also studied, I've learned how to write programs or how to build software. That is a skill I've learned. So when I recall the memory of that is when I'm using my memory. Some of you are teachers, some of you are engineers, some of you are doctors, some of your students. So all of us have learned and then stored something in our memory, and we recall it at different points of time. All right, so that is another function, another wave that arises. And then imagination or illusion. 80% of the time we are in this, always assuming things, daydreaming, tomorrow it's going to happen like this, afternoon this is what is going to happen, every day it's going to happen, the food is going to be like this, and a lot of long-term and short-term dreams and imaginations. And Patanjali says it's an imagination or illusion, vikalpa. And then we are learning a lot of knowledge, right? All these 31 days and tomorrow you will hear a lot of wisdom, and all our channels bring in a lot of wisdom. All our books that Patriji recommends, there's all wisdom. And there are all the scriptures, right? From Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutras, the Vedas, the Upanishads, all the wonderful neuroscience books. It's all knowledge. We read all that, right? So we read all that, and that's all knowledge. And Patanjali says, Yoga Sutras say, all that knowledge is fine, but they are incomplete and they are indirect. Somebody tells about an experience or somebody tells about this thing, we don't know how it works. So he says all that is viparyaya. It's incorrect knowledge. What is correct knowledge? The correct knowledge is the one we experience directly. Even Buddha says, another common point between Buddha and Patanjali. Buddha says, wisdom happens only when knowledge is felt and experienced. Right? So experienced knowledge is wisdom. Correct knowledge is wisdom. Inferred, okay, this is happening, or that is why this is what is happening. So you understand by yourself. And then direct testimonial. Someone who's experienced that is talking to you about it. Again, there are different grades of those testimonials. That is something that you feel. Right? So that is what is correct knowledge. So these are the 5 types of vrittis. So we all keep talking about emptiness, we talking about stillness, right? But the mind always has these thoughts. We need all these thoughts for our everyday life. So all these thoughts are fine. It's okay to have thoughts. And a lot of people, when they start meditating, when they say stillness, when we stay calmness, do not think about anything, be in the present moment, immediately they ask, oh, don't I need to plan for my future? Don't I need to think about a vacation coming up, right? Yes, all those are one of these thoughts. So all these thoughts are fine. Patanjali says it's not like don't have these thoughts. These are the thoughts that keep coming, right? But these are not fine when they are colored by these kleshas, colored by this defilement. Similarly, Buddha talks about something called hindrances, 5 hindrances. So the 5 kleshas are ignorance, ego, attachment, aversion, and fear. So attachment, we know it's desire, greed. Aversion is hating something. I don't like this. I don't want that. Attachment is I want that. There's a craving for it, like Buddha says. Fear, abnivesha, is fear of death, fear of how things might go, fear of me getting into discomforted situation, fear of letting go of something or someone whom I love, whom I like, what I like, right? Ego is creating that personality. It's like, what will people think about me? When I speak something, what will people think about me? When I do something, what will people think about me? I need to act my role. And ignorance is the fact that we don't understand. We see things as people, we listen to things that people say. We are programmed, acting from our beliefs, acting from our programming is what is ignorance. Through the light of wisdom, ignorance slowly disappears. So any thought is fine. But if there's, for example, when you're planning for a vacation is fine. You need to undergo the steps, book your tickets, plan where you want to go and all that. You're planning for a class, planning for a session, it's fine. But then the moment the thought gets colored, oh my God, will I get tickets? What will the temperature be? I hope the people there are good. So those are all fear. The moment it gets colored, then that is something that disturbs your peace. Similarly, we are conducting these sessions. We've been conducting these sessions in Pyramid Valley for a long time. The moment we conduct a session, expecting a lot of people will come and donate, and we get some money for running Pyramid Valley or something. That expectation, right? Or will as many people come? We didn't announce the program. Will so many people come? That's a fear, right? So, or the fact that I'm conducting a session and I'm a teacher, whatever it is, it feels me a sense of pride. Oh my God, I know everything. And so all those are kleshas. The kleshas form the samskaras, the samskaras in our mind. So having these thoughts are good, but when those thoughts are colored with kleshas, they are wrong. They cause suffering, right? And what causes suffering? All these causes suffering. Again, we go deep into when we cover a lot of these. So any time, it's another modern representation of the vrittis of the five states you saw, right? Anytime our mind chatter or the waves fall into these expectation from ourselves, from others, from situations, from things, attachment to people, things, thoughts, ideologies, love with ownership, attachment to what is right, what is wrong, and then comparing things, judging people, judging situations, not accepting people, right? Feeling a lack of something. Someone has more, I have less. And then always regretting the past, fear about the future, thinking for others. All these are our mind chatter that happens. And as we get into meditation, all these go deep. So wonderful summary of what Yoga Sutra says by Swami Vivekananda. So he summarizes, he likens our mind to a lake, right? And the bottom of the lake is that deep intelligence that we are all. The reason we are not feeling that intelligence, feeling those intuitions, is because the surface of the lake is very rough because of the waves, because of the garbage in there. Because the moment you have more waves on the lake, what happens? You can't see the lake, bottom of the lake. The moment you have more garbage, mud, silt, leaves, all that fall on the lake, you can't see the bottom of the lake. So that is what meditation allows you. The yoga practice of Raja Yoga allows you to purify your mind, remove the impurities, right? And then allows you to still the waves, don't get fluctuated. Something happened yesterday, immediately don't get agitated, right? And he says, Chitta is the mind stuff, and Vrittis are the waves and ripples rising in it when external causes impinge on it. All the ripples are because of external causes. If we are sitting silently with observing our breath and things like that, there are no agitation, right? So the bottom of the lake we cannot see because its surface is covered with ripples. It is only possible when the ripples have subsided and the water is calm for us to catch a glimpse of the bottom. That's our intelligence. If the water is muddy, the bottom will not be seen. If the water is agitated all the time, the bottom will not be seen. If the water is clear and there are no waves, we shall see the bottom. That bottom of the lake is our own true self. The lake is the Chitta, the consciousness, and the waves are the Vrittis. Wonderfully simple explanation of Swami Vivekananda, from Swami Vivekananda. Right, and his version of Yoga Sutras, probably the simplest to read. Right? So, my dear friends, that's what happens. We are all having all these agitations and waves because of external causes, or because once we start purifying with the practice of meditation, then everything happens. And we use this practice from Gautam Buddha, the technique of silencing the mind, technique of silencing those waves, calming those waves, is from Buddha's Anapanasati Sutras. Similarly, Buddha spoke about Anapanasati Sutra, 16 sutras. You can type it on the internet. Anapanasati Sutras, S-U-T-T-A, is the Pali word for sutras. And it talks about 16, how we observe our breath, calm our body, experience joy and bliss as we continue our meditation, feel the mental formations, feel our mind, observe our mind, experience our mind. We get into those deep states of meditation, the joy, the bliss, the peace. And then we get into the dhammas, the impermanence, the non-craving, the cessation and letting go. So this is a technique that we use thanks to Brahmarshi Patriji, right? And if you look at it, we are becoming a lot more mindful of our body, our feelings, our mind, and then the truths, the insights. And as we continue to do that, this is another representation of the mind, our modern block diagram version. We have the memory. This is where all the imprints, everything that's colored with kleshas gets stored. This is where all the samskaras from our past life are stored. And all the hates, all the likes, all the cravings are stored. And then there is the emotional mind, the manas, the buddhi, thinking and emotional mind, intellect, and then our narrating mind, the storyteller in our mind, right? So all these, anytime you see anything, this gets into the action, takes up past memories and creates a story. This is where our assumptions, attitudes, beliefs, concepts, desires, all that fear of maintaining our image, everything is stored here, right? And how does meditation help? Number one, meditation helps us, increases us to spend more time with our conscious mind. Remember the 10%, 90% iceberg? So we are able to spend a lot more time consciously rather than allowing your subconscious mind to prevail. And then it unifies a lot of subconscious minds. At any point of time, sometimes we think about our family, sometimes we think about our work, sometimes we think about our own self, sometimes we think about a problem. So all these are different subminds, thoughts about different subminds. It slowly harmonizes, silences the waves, removes the waves, removes the waves. And then lastly, the wonderful breath mindfulness meditation deprograms, removes the cravings, right? Removes the cravings, dissolves stored habits, removes behaviors and modifies our behaviors, removes beliefs and modifies our behaviors. So as you continue practicing meditation, this whole consciousness keeps going in, cleaning up things, clearing up things, clearing up things, calming the waves, right? All that is what happens. And that's what we say, breath mindfulness meditation, the 3 C's, calms our mind, right? Cleanses all our unhelpful patterns, unhelpful kleshas, and then connects us to our deeper intelligence, which is what Patanjali Yoga Sutras talk about. All right. And how do we still the mind's fluctuations? And though the lot of practices are there in Yoga Sutras, talk about a lot of breath-related practice and Ishvara Pranidhana, Swadhyaya is another thing that Yoga Sutras talk about it, right? So he says, Abhyasa Vairagya Bhyam Tannirodha. How do you still the mind's fluctuations? It comes through practice and non-attachment, right? So Abhyasa and Vairagya, the 2 things that we need to do. Never give up. We are continuing our meditation, continue to do the practice with faith, with energy, with consistency, with contentment, with trust. Trusting that we know, we understood the wisdom, we understood the science behind all these. It's a question of us practicing it every day. And then as we continue to practice, it's also about non-attachment, letting go of those desires, letting go of the hates, letting go of the identity, letting go of fear, right? So letting go of ignorance. So all that happens, non-attachment to things, people, thoughts, emotions. That is something we continue to practice as part of mindfulness during everyday session. Always let go. So continue the practice of meditation, practice of mindfulness through letting go, no judgment, awareness, and attention is what leads us to arresting the waves of our mind, leads us to arresting the Vrittis, Kleshas, the Vrittis. All right. So, my dear friends, that is what we've been practicing, and that is what all these entire programs are continuing to do. And what do we practice? Patanjali laid out the 8 limbs of yoga, as most of you have learned, right? Yamas are the moral code of conduct, things that you should not be doing, right? So we should not be killing, not lying, not stealing, not wasting our energies, and not be in a sense of greed for other people's thoughts, other people's ideas, other people's money, right? It's about non-violence, non-lying, non-stealing, non-wastage of vital energies, and non-greed. And then there are a set of rules. He says you practice. So even Buddha talks about sila as virtue. So these are the virtue part. So niyamas, niyama means rule, right? So practice purity, practice santosha, contentment. We talked about that. Practice svadhyaya, tapas, discipline, everyday practice, right? Ishvara pranidhana is surrender, surrender to that intelligence, surrender to that universal consciousness. And then asana, as I said, sthira sukha asana, be in your asana, practice pranayama in the sense observing our breath, right? He again doesn't recommend deep pranayama as you see from Hatha Yoga Pradipika. For him, pranayama is observing our breath, in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. As we continue to observe our in breath, he says you will reach a state where you don't feel the breath as well, right? And then pratyahara, we close, we practice relaxing with our breath, close our eyes, get our senses inside. Then we start focusing on our breath. And then as we continue to focus on our breath, dhyana happens. And we continue to do dhyana, we get into deeper states of samadhi, absorption, thoughtless state. No, not having the ability to even think during those states. Completely aware, completely empty, right? And that is the practice. We are following a version. Patriji is focused on the top 6. And then as we continue to practice the top 6 regularly, the idea is in our daily life, we'll start following this. And obviously following this will reinforce our practice of meditation, right? You can't be following the top 6 and indulging in some of these yamas. Then your meditation will not be right. It's not the right path. Similarly, following these self-study, we talk about svadhyaya, the way we continue to study, we continue to sajjan sangatya, all these impacts the way our meditation shapes up, the way we are able to control our routines. All right. So with that, my dear friends, so that's in a nutshell about Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, though it's an interesting read. I mean, for people who are interested, I would definitely suggest Swami Vivekananda's version to start with. Right, very, very simple, crisp English of the Yoga Sutras. It is a mind manual. And then the later chapters talk a lot more about the siddhis and powers that you can. And for us, for all of us practicing meditation, I think this is what is the right information, right wisdom. And if you look at it, all other books, all other neuroscience books expand on this in different forms and ways. And there's a startling resemblance between what Buddha talks, though in fact, there are certain books that Vipassana Research Institute has published. There's one book that actually compares Patanjali Yoga Sutras and Buddhist techniques. And it says what is common, what is different. It was fascinating for me because I was involved in both for me to compare and contrast these two. But however, as Yoga Sutras Patanjali talks about, my dear friends, we all know meditation. We all have been practice knowing the wisdom. And for us, it's a question of everyday practice of breath mindfulness meditation that gets us into those deeper states, both in the meditation, sitting meditation, as well as connecting to our spontaneity, connected to our intuition in our everyday life. With that, we can, I think, open up for any questions.
Thank you very much, sir. A lot to learn from this, and I have a couple of questions. Before I get into my question, just let me request all the masters and participants that we are open for the Q&A. Either you can chat, put in the chat for the any questions you have, or you can raise your hand. And along with this, I really appeal and encourage all of you to share your experiences really inspired all the team member and the masters and the participants to come out and help you better. And definitely, your experience, whether it is good or bad, it can really turn around and transform the life for anybody and inspire anybody. So please be open and share your experience. uh, we are open on the WhatsApp. Also, you can send the message there on your experience, or you can record a small quick video of your experience sharing and post on our WhatsApp group. So sir, thank you very much. Lot to learn from this, and the takeaway for me today is mastery of the fluctuations of the mind is the real meaning of yoga. And how do you do that? Is with the help of practice, abhyasa plus non-attachment. Thank you very much. And you have touched base upon, I have made couple of points noted on five kalesas, that is ignorance, ego, attachment, aversion, and fear. And see, if we look at generally, whenever we talk anybody about yoga, it always goes that you do some asana, and that is all about. But so much of the deep detail you have provided, and lot to learn from Yoga Sutras. These all four chapters and five types of mind and so on. So sir, I have for the benefit of all, I have one question. How do we use the teaching of Yoga Sutras in our day-to-day meditation and the personal life, and to achieve the mental and emotional well-being? Sir, you are on mute.
Yes, sorry. So good. So as I said, Yoga Sutras talk about two things that we already do as part of PSSM, right? One is the practice part, the techniques part, right? It talks about a lot of techniques. And number one, we are already following one technique, which is meditation on the breath. We'll continue to do that. The second thing that Yoga Sutras does is a wisdom. It helps you understand, like I said, right? Understand the mind, understand why the vrittis are caused, understand why we are not able to connect to our consciousness. So the study of Yoga Sutra, just like study of Bhagavad Gita, gives you a deeper understanding of who we are. But as I said, as I summarized, what is needed is continuous practice of the technique we are following. And the core wisdom of Yoga Sutras is about non-attachment and letting go. And everything is related to that. So the way Yoga Sutras help us in our daily life is give us the wisdom, the deeper understanding of how our mind works. And we talk about that in a lot of different forms, right? Quantum consciousness and all that stuff. So it gives you the wisdom, and it also gives you a set of practices. It also tells you why practice is important. And everything that you feel, right? Everything that you feel at any point of time, you go to Yoga Sutras, there will be an answer on why you are feeling that particular thing at that particular time, how it is important to have the right food, have the right atmosphere for meditation, so all that. So it is a manual for wisdom and practice.
Thank you very much, sir. And so, sir, we are at the day 31 today, and then probably after a couple of days, we will not be having the regular session in the morning. And so a question comes, how people can, continue. So definitely I'm looking for, tips from you relating to the, day before yesterday, a couple of days ago, we had the session from Daga sir. And he talks about the, meditation and inspiration. So kind of meditation is short term. You need not meditation, sorry, motivation. Motivation is a kind of short term. You need to keep taking the boost to keep yourself motivated. However, inspiration is a long term. So when once you are inspired by something, it will continue. You don't need any kind of motivation to continue that. So my question to you: we are at the day 31. Now we will not be having the session. Please give us some tips so that all the participants and the masters can keep themselves not only motivated but inspired, so that the journey continues for long.
Yeah. So again, I think the same tips apply. For example, anyone is practicing walking, anyone is practicing going to exercise every day, right? So whatever is motivating you and inspiring you to continue those practices is what is needed for continuing and practicing meditation regularly also, right? And then I think the motivation should come from, I think throughout these 31 days, You probably have listened to multiple masters and a lot of wisdom on how meditation works, how meditation helps, how should one be. So that's all that wisdom should help you motivate, right? And then inspiration comes when you start feeling the experience, right? All of us, when they feel, for example, in the 31 days or 32 days, a lot of us would have felt better sleep, better health issues would have gone, right? And then suddenly some magical things will be happening at work or in family. So all those are inspired. Oh, if I continue for 31 days itself, these results are being happening. And if I continue to do more, obviously more things will continue to happen, right? And again, absolute practice, as we said, practice and letting go, practice and letting go. Just like, in fact, Patriji says, making meditation the first priority. Abjit, in fact, there is a video. So making meditation the first priority is always important. A lot of people say, oh, I learned this meditation technique and it was wonderful, but then they don't practice it. Or they say, I don't have the time to do it. My only question is, if the doctor has prescribed dialysis or some physiotherapy for you for the next 4 months, will anyone say, I don't have the time to do that? We will do it because it's our health. Similarly, meditation is that medicine, is that wonderful drug that we need to be healthy, to be ourselves, to be connected to our intelligence. So once we understand that priority, we'll continue doing just 1 hour, just 1 hour every day, right? And then we'll continue. And again, as you said, sir, 31 days, there was someone hand-holding you and hand-holding each one of us, which is good. Thanks to the entire team for putting this together. I know the kind of effort and time each one of the volunteers must have spent, because we've been doing that at Pyramid Valley and with PSSM for a long time. But then with a sense of gratitude to everybody, it's in each one of us. The only way we can pay gratitude to each one of these masters who has helped put this program is to continue the practice. Continue the practice for the next 40 days till it becomes a habit. Once we start feeling that experience, feeling the benefits, that itself inspires us. And then we start teaching, we start telling somebody, right? Listening to experiences, reading wisdom, everything. So all the components of what PSSM does, listening to experiences, reading books, participating in such programs gives us wisdom, helps us motivate to do the practice, continue to do the practice. And all those wonderful stories, wonderful experiences inspire us to continue doing. So my dear friends, very easy, very simple technique, but the key thing is to force our mind out of that muda, out of that restlessness, out of that distractions. Oh, I've spent 31 days doing this, and now let me take a break. Take a break during that time, but do the meditation at a different time, which is fine. So that's the only thing, sir. Again, as we continue, again, as they say, continue the practice of meditation, we will not need a medication for our health, physical health, or our mental body, right? Otherwise, we will be pushed towards getting that state of medication, and then we will remember, oh, meditation was helping me, meditation was helping, right? So as you continue to eat the fruit, wonderful, healthy fruit every day, we'll all stay healthy, both physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Thank you very much, sir. You rightly said, just to add on that, when you have intent of doing something, you have already achieved 70% of that, and balance 30% comes from the continuous and commitment and the regular practice. Thank you very much, sir, for explaining this. And I have a couple of questions on the chat. So Rajiv ji is asking, how is Raja Yoga connected to Hatha Yoga?
Yes, so our scriptures talk about different types of. Sorry?
Or it is not connected.
Yes, so they're all connected. See, they're all connected. If you look at it, there is Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Raja Yoga, right? And then Jnana Yoga and Hatha Yoga, right? So now all these yoga, the objective of the way they are connected is all yoga is about uniting yourself with your intelligence, going beyond the mind, becoming a Buddha, going beyond the mind, not being a servant of mind. But people are, the soul level of different people is different. The temperament of different people is different. So Hatha Yoga pretty much focuses on physical exercise. Through physical exercise, it regulates the flow of energy in your body. It improves. Again, physical exercise, when we do yoga, you have to be in the present moment. Mindful of your breathing, mindful of your posture, slow movements. That is when your mind becomes calm. The moment your mind becomes calm, we are out of those vrittis. Similarly, Raja Yoga is more the path of meditation. Dhyana Yoga, sorry, Jnana Yoga. Jnana, sometimes when we read those wonderful books, there is a switch that turns, clicks in our mind. Immediately we get a lot of clarity. All our confusions passes away. So that is Jnana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga we talk about. Karma Yoga. When you are in those deep state of work, completely engaged in, the mind becomes still. So yoga is all about stillness of mind. And these are all different paths to stilling our mind, right? So that way, Raja Yoga and Hatha Yoga are converted or connected. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. And Rajiv ji, you must have got the answer. And there is a question from Anju Arora ji. I think the first part of the question has already been covered and answered. She is asking if you can share the titles of the books on Yoga Sutras. So we will post those all on the WhatsApp group. One more question is from Sumati ji from Coimbatore. If we are unable to sit for an hour or so, can we do meditation in the lying posture?
The answer is yes or no. Yes,
That,
people or senior citizens do meditation lying on the bed itself. Yes, if someone is not well, right? So if someone is not well, they can start observing their breath while they are lying down. No issues. The moment they are with a breath, a lot of healing, a lot of everything happens. The conscious breathing, right? But that will help only to a certain extent because it will allow your body to heal, fine, right? But then for you to really get into the deep states of calmness, because once you're sleeping, you get into that relaxation mode, you start sleeping, right? So, but you get into the real objectives, real benefits of meditation, get into deep states of calmness, we'll have to sit in a correct posture. We'll have to sit and then observe our breath. And then because the body energy movements, the body itself tries to arrest your thoughts, it makes you keep alert, right? Be aware. So the answer is yes or no. If someone is unable to sit and do it, it is better for them to observe their breath when they are lying down rather compared to not doing anything. Whereas optimal results, maximum results will happen when they're sitting in the breath, sitting and meditating. And again, for a lot of us to not being able to sit for an hour, it's just an initial issue. As we continue to do the practice, you will be able to sit. It depends on your posture, how you are. You'll continue to be able to sit for long hours anywhere, right? If you see all the musicians and long-term meditators and all that, they all sit straight, and in that position, they're able to sit for a long time. If you are leaning, if you are not having your back right, you'll not be able to sit for a long time, and over time, your leg pain and all that will go away. So no issues.
thank you very much, sir. Sir, one more question we have from Vateji. What is the difference between Pratyahara and
Pratyahara.
Dhanya?
Yes, I'm saying that. So Pratyahara is shutting down your senses, right? Pratyahara is just closing our eyes, not listening to anything, not feeling anything. We're just sitting in the posture. That is Pratyahara. Pratyahara is moving inward. The moment we close our eyes, we are shutting down the world outside and we're starting to see what is inside us. We're starting to see that colors behind our eyes, the breath, the feeling, and all that. Pratyahara is coming inside, right? Whereas Dhyana is getting into deep meditation. After Pratyahara, then it's about developing concentration. Today we did the first 10 minutes of observing our breath. It's about developing concentration. Some people do with a mantra, which is not breath mindfulness. They do it. So all that develops concentration, which is dharana. Once we continuously observe our breath, then we slowly begin to get into dhyana. When we get into dhyana, it is on a lot of automatic things happening. We get the joy, we get the peace. So Pratyahara, just close your eyes anytime, being in silence is Pratyahara. Dhyana is continuous observation of our breath and getting into these deeper states.
Thank you very much, sir. So we generally say that it takes 21 days to get into some habit or get rid of something. So we have been doing this for last 31 days, and Sunil has been always very instrumental for coming out one research bite, and we feel like craving for that. Without that, it doesn't seems like that we have completed the today's session. So I would request and welcome Sunil to give us the research bite for today. Sunil. Yeah, welcome, Sunil. So, Sunil is the trustee of IFSS, and welcome you, Sunil, for your research bite. We are really feeling that, when we are going to have the research bite for the day. Please, over to you.
Thank you so much, Vikalji. Thank you so very much, Sagar sir. It was so pleasure hearing you. And no my time can, we cannot have a my time without you. That's the rule. And
Thank you,
for everyone.
Sunil, and appreciate all your efforts in organizing this. I know it's a big deal for a lot of us.
Yes,
Thank
and we learned all these tricks from you. You are the guru for the team, right from APS times a few years back. Sagar sir has been instrumental in guiding us, and we volunteered to help Sagar sir to, organizing and doing bits and bits. We learned all that, and we are an ode to you, sir. So, sir, coming from the IFSS, since we are bringing the scientific temperament to the spiritual aspect. So we are trying to share research bites, research works done by various universities and researchers across the globe. So today, I mean, of course, Yoga Day is tomorrow. So we wanted you to, come today so that we can have an extensive session, because tomorrow is going to be more of a celebration, experience sharing and all. To share the research work today, I thought of getting something on yoga, but then since practice is an important element for us, as you rightly said, as somebody rightly asked that question also, practice is something which we all miss out. So I thought of picking one research which emphasizes on a long-term benefit. So most commonly, the usual researches lasts for about a week or a few months. But a group of researchers from Norway and US came up with an idea of doing this research for a longer period of time. And they did this for about, their research topic was 6-year positive effects of mindfulness-based intervention on mindfulness, coping and well-being in medical and psychology students. Results from a random controlled trial. So this carried out collectively by researchers from different departments of University Hospital of Northern Norway, the Arctic University of Norway, University of Oslo, and few other researchers from University of Utah in US. They all joined in this study. So they followed closely to about 288 students over a period of 6 years to see how a 7-week mindfulness course impacted their well-being and coping skills. Half of the students participated in this mindfulness course, while the other half continued with their regular studies. So what they found was, first, the students who took mindfulness course reported feeling significantly better even 6 years after the training. This shows that the benefits of mindfulness can last for a long time. Second, these students also showed an increase in mindfulness and used more effective coping strategies. They were better at focusing on solving problems and less likely to avoid dealing with them. This change in coping strategies is crucial for maintaining good mental health and resilience. And interestingly, the positive effects were evident even, sorry, excuse me. So these positive effects were evident even for those students who didn't stick strictly to the mindfulness practices. Many of us are like that. We all have begun like that. So the interesting point that they are bringing here is to suggest that even a little bit of mindfulness training can make a big difference. So the researchers used various strategies like questionnaires and various methodologies to measure these mindfulness and coping strategies. They even analyzed the data using advanced statistical methods to track these changes over a period of time. And the results highlight that the potential of mindfulness training in enhancing their well-being, coping skills among all the future healthcare professionals. So this could lead to a better quality care of patients and greater resilience among the healthcare providers. So in conclusion, the research shows that incorporating mindfulness training into the education of medical and psychology students can have lasting positive effects, helping them manage their stress, improve their overall mental health. So Friends, today's research reveals long-term benefits of regular meditation practice. And as you all know, as Vikal also mentioned, we are almost through with this series of My Time Infinity program. So I just want to leave this thought about the benefits of practicing regular meditation. Please do stick to the practice, as Sagar sir mentioned. Practice the regular, being regular, and uh, that's about it. I think being regular is what the mantra is. Thank you so much, Vikal. Over to you.
Thank you, Sunil. Fantastic, research. And, all across discussion with Sagar sir and you, one thing is very common that you have to have the right mindset and practice, practice, and only practice, which makes you perfect. Thank you very much, Sunil, for sharing. And I see Rajan sir there. Can somebody unmute Rajan sir?
In fact, wonderful. Actually, it's a good practice of sharing this research bites. I really appreciate it. In fact, I'll reach out to you, Sunil. All this research, everyday research, I'm also interested in spreading or at least showcasing somewhere.
Sure, sir.
Right?
Definitely, definitely.
Wonderful. Good idea, right? So while we are at it, really thank Vikalji. Really wonderful. You're a wonderful, one of the best hosts I've seen, been smooth and guiding us through the entire session, carrying on this. Thank you very much. And thank you, Sunil. I see Swanalata Madam, Jenny, Sarisha, the entire team of IFSS and PSSM Global, PMC Global, everybody who is carrying it. I know it takes a lot of effort. Thank you very much for putting this program, and thank you very much for the opportunity to come and share my learnings here. Really, absolutely thankful. Deep gratitude.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nana. Thank you very much. Thank you
madam.
very much. Thank you for sharing your great wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you. All right.
Vikal, Rajan sir is there.
Oh, perfect. I requested Rajan sir, if somebody can unmute.
Yeah, sir.
Hello.
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
sir. Sir, please.
Sorry.
Rajan sir. So
Yeah.
it has also become a kind of, habit
Yeah.
for listening to you. And I have been observing that, even if you speak for a minute or two, you will refer several books. So that kind of, khajana you have, of the books sharing. So, each and every topic or every, thing, you have some book to refer. So please, please sir, go ahead.
Thank you, Vikal, and thank you, Sunil, for that excellent research finding. In fact, research gives us a lot of information about how we can go about our daily lives. And I would say this is an excellent presentation by Sagar sir also, because he is so much deep into the Pyramid Valley atmosphere and making his presentations with all his experience and connections with the valley. It's simply great. Should thank Sagar sir for this. And I have nothing more to say except that going by my experience with Patriji in all the 25 years, he was giving all the emphasis on certain ways in which we do our meditation. That means one is Sukhasthira Asana, sitting in a most comfortable position, not with a very straight back, because I have seen in so many other organizations, they insist on sitting in a very erect procedure, erect position, which always gives strain after some time, especially for people who are above the age of 60 or so. They will find it very difficult to sit straight and then do the meditation. And there is no asana whatsoever, even though we respect all our yoga practitioners, because that's yoga is one way. Instead of going for jogging, etc., they do the yoga. That's okay. But then while doing meditation, I don't think any asana is involved. And so Patriji was so very particular that you should be able to sit in a comfortable position so that you can do continuous meditation. So wherever we used to go, where we used to conduct classes in so many cities, we have conducted over 25,000 programs in our lives, our family. But then Nowhere we insisted on this, number one. Number two, we used to tell them the longer you do the meditation and the longer you are able to continue with the empty mind state, the greater will be the chance of your going into the empty mind at the earliest possible time. So this has been very beneficial. And in the initial stages when we started, after seeing Patriji's commands and Patriji's instructions, we used to insist on 1 hour of meditation every day. Because so many organizations say 15 minutes is enough, 10 minutes is enough and all that. But we should thank our great Gautam Buddha for saying, or for at least indicating that it should be commensurate with the age of the person. So that has been very useful. So 1 hour of meditation wherever we conduct has been the norm. And this has really helped all the people. Many became vegetarians by the end of the program. So that was very great. So asana is not there. Similarly, we should also have a principle about when to do meditation. Because after you have your food and do meditation, you invariably go into yoga nidra. This can be avoided if you do meditation with half your stomach empty. Okay. That is another important point. And create the ambience for doing the meditation. So many people say, they used to say in our, when in some of our kendras, we are unable to do any meditation in our house, but when we come to your place, we find it so very easy to go into the stillness state. So we used to think and we used to tell them, come on, you create an ambience by switching off your mobile phones and then not being able to be accessible at any point of time, and then put on the curtains and make a dark atmosphere there so that it's easy. Similarly, you can even cover your eyes because you get eye pyramids, you can cover your eyes too. So when you do all this and prepare yourself with all the seriousness, then going into the altered state of consciousness is not a big thing. It's very easy to do it. So that sort of an involvement gives you all the necessary benefits. So with these words, I think all of you, Vikal, all of you have been so very cooperative and friendly and so very easy to access and talk and clear our doubts, etc. I, for my part, only just contributed one program, one subject rather. But I look for the days when we are able to conduct meditation every week so that IFSS is definitely able to reach a lot of people. I look for more people to view our programs, to participate in our programs, and also recommend the best of books. The best of books is very important. And then Patriji has already, I would say from our close association that Patriji in the last 2 years of his life here had been recommending only one book every time in every uh, session, and that is Thinking and Destiny by Harold Baldwin Percival. He has called it the book of the century, the book of the era, book of the century. And we used to wonder earlier why he was doing it. Only after reading it fully, I could get the real crux, real cream of the book. So I think it's our obligation, moral obligation and statutory obligation. I won't say statutory, spiritual obligation to spread the messages of this book. So I look forward to the day, to the days when we take a decision on this to spread the message of thinking and destiny for the benefit of all the people in the world, and particularly the members connected to the IFSS, because although the book is a bit hard to understand in the initial stages, later you will see so many things which are completely variant, which are different from what the Vedantas prescribed, from all the great mythological masters have prescribed. So it's something new. It's out of the box thinking by that great person, Harold Waldwin Percival, because he had an unusual experience when he was walking along 14th Street in New York. And in that experience, the masters above have given him, have passed on to him this knowledge and these messages. And these have proved to be, and in fact, he took the trouble of getting it dictated for a period of 30 years. Can you imagine a person working on a book for 30 years? Have you ever heard of it? It's simply unthinkable. So he has done it and he has delivered it for the benefit of the entire human kingdom. So let us take advantage of all the knowledge that is available from this book and from so many other books and from so many other masters who have read the book and who will be able to interpret the messages of the book.
Thank
So
you.
once we do it, I think we'll get in touch with all the masters around the world who are really practicing what Harold Waldwin Percival has stated. So a better understanding of this book will make you closer to enlightenment, even for the person who is coming and who is getting associated later. So that will be very beneficial to all. So thank you, all of you, once again. So we look forward for the great day tomorrow when we'll be also in touch with Karthikeyan sir, who has also sent me a message that he will participate. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. And we all, the team members, are here to
Yeah.
continue work under your profound guidance and leadership. We are all there. And before we conclude this, so Sunil, you are there. One more question from can IFSS have another 40-day session? It's very encouraging question. And Rajan sir also mentioned that something like weekly. So if you want to comment anything on this.
Well, yes, we would love to. IFSS actually is okay. If you have noticed, every weekend we have this Infinity program in collaboration with many other organizations, including Shambhala, Omega, Pyramid, Breath Universe from Australia. So it's a collaborative program conducted on a weekend every Sunday. So this My Time is a series that comes from World Meditation Day to International Day of Yoga. We will definitely plan few other series of events like 11-day program, 21-day program. We'll keep you posted. There is a WhatsApp group we have. We thought of sharing that WhatsApp group tomorrow. I think somebody can share the IFSS WhatsApp group. We'll keep you posted with all the updates about the upcoming programs. Point noted, we would definitely love to do that, and we will for sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sunil. So with this, now we are going to conclude today's program with deepest gratitude to Sai Sagar sir for taking out the time and showering the wisdom today. Thank you very much, Rajan sir, Sunil sir, and all the participants and masters for taking your time out, even during the odd timing, different time zone. Thank you very much. And thanks to both the organization IFSS and PSSM Global for co-organizing this program and giving opportunity to all of us. So with this, thank you very much. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you tomorrow, 5:45 a.m. Thank you very much. Deepest gratitude to all of you. Thank you.